Thank you for joining us today at Miniature Wargaming Labs. Today we'll be working on some of our Stormcast Eternals from the Dominion box set, specifically the Knight-Vexillor with Banner of Apotheosis. So, if you turn to your sprue guide here, it is going to be sprue J. And let's see, somewhere on here it's marked J. Oh well. But you can see there's our little guy with the banner. So we're going to work on him. Pretty quick build. So what we're going to do here is we've got my baking sheet, because eventually I'll drop a piece, and the baking sheet has a rim that prevents stuff from flying off. Got some plastic glue, some super glue. I have a file, X-Acto blade, and the essential clippers, extra sharp. And if I ever run into any tiny bits, got some little tweezers there. These also help to pincer some of the tight pieces in. Alright, so what we're going to do to get started is, normally I lay the instructions out, I cut pieces out. But this instruction spans 2 pages, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sprue here, I'm going to take my clippers, I'm going to take the flat edge of the clippers here, so you can see here's our model, and I'm going to take the flat edge of the clippers and put it tight against the model. And what this does is make sure, try to get it as nice and clean a cut as I can. And I'm going to set this one up here. But the idea is, if you have dull clippers, it'll cause your model, the plastic will mushroom, which, you know, if you're in the wrong spot, could mushroom the plastic in the model, not just on the sprue. So we're going to start clipping this guy out. This banner is an amazing piece of engineering. Alright. Now when you clip these out, make sure you're actually clipping the sprue and not actually a piece of the model. That can happen with some of these pins here. Alright, so what I like to do, okay, get out of there. Alright, just lay him down with where he's going to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the rest of the pieces and we're going to lay them out where they're pictured on the instructions. Alright, so I have all my pieces cut out and laid out. Now what I'm going to do is take my X-Acto blade, and those places where I clipped the sprue connection, the sprue gate to the model, I'm just going to smooth those out a little bit. Now you want to be careful in this part here. You don't want to, especially some of these delicate pieces right here, don't want to rip them off with the force there. That's why it's helpful to have a sharp X-Acto blade. Alright. Now, when you get them all cleaned off, you'll notice that wherever you saw the sprue gates connect, there's actually this little line there. That's the mold line. So what we're going to do, you don't have to do this, I like to. Mother. Alright, you just take our little file there, file it off. Now this banner here is covered with little tiny, like molded on spikes there. Those you might just want to work around. Don't want to do more damage trying to clean off mold lines than what you're doing there. And I like to clean off mold lines because it affects the paint job later. But damaging the model will definitely affect it. So that's more important to avoid. So we're going to go around clearing off all the mold lines and little sprue gate nubs there, and then we'll start assembly. Now all my pieces have been cleaned, so now I'm ready to start assembly. And since we've laid out our pieces, except for the sword, because it's on the other page, we're going to start putting this together. Now you can see that this has some push fit buttons. We don't want to get any glue into there. And we're just going to do a quick dry fit. Alright, looks like it goes in like that. Now that he's in place, I'm going to take some of my plastic glue. There we go. Alright, next stop will be the chest plate. So I'll glue around the pins on the edge here. Don't want to just hunt around looking for those pins. I did something wrong here. Of course, this piece wouldn't have a push pin. This foot goes on the other side of that little leaf. There we go. That's why I was getting in the way. Now I'm going to take this, I'm going to squeeze just into place. Now watch out for getting plastic glue on your fingers, because you'll touch the rest of the model and that will start melting into portions, unless you want a damaged look. Alright, now we'll turn the page and we'll go for the arm. It's cocked back gently, so I'm just going to glue around the pin. Alright, and we have our 40mm base. This will be pretty straightforward. But for that one, I'll use some super glue. Not in the pins. Excellent. All done. Actually, probably the fastest one I've hit so far. Well, thank you for joining us at Miniature Wargaming Labs, and we'll see you next time.